TV.
And it's so funny, and it's not funny, but it's sad that like it's easy to like fool. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to fool a nigga, but it's way harder to convince that same nigga that he's actually being fooled. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo,
that should be, you know.
That should be coming from years of nobody checking her ass though. That's
really where they come from.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
No.
I'm just saying, it sounds like when they say it's lonely at the top, they're not talking about niggas with money. They're talking about niggas with knowledge. It's lonely at the top.
Yeah.
Bars.
Absolutely.
It's going straight up look like it's because of the leg. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's probably some shit he had to say. But either way, man, I mean, it sounds like some bullshit, man. It sounds like some bullshit.
Ultimatums come in multiple forms too. So it might not be the do this or I'm out. It might be the, I don't know exactly the term, but it can come in a different form. Where
like you talking about like do this or no sex or something like that? Or
something. Yeah.
I just like how you say as a black native. Like I think he means something deeper than that when he's saying shit like that.
Yeah,
of course. I mean,
and then the hat he's wearing too.
He did that on purpose, nigga. He 190% did that on purpose. Nigga wore a native hat and said as a black man, nigga, like that was a message. Like.
Yeah, hey, and we are on time this time. It's the Room Podcast, and we are live. This is episode 46. This is Remy Please. I'm with PNHD, P-Shack, Keys, Lighthouse. And of course, y'all see this new face right here. We have Reba, our old friend, good friend. Reba is a sex educator. And most importantly, she's an entrepreneur. What's up, Reba?
Hey.
What's up, Reba?
What's up, Reba? Oh, welcome.
What's good?
Reba, can you like detail like what do you do? Like what can you do for people? How can you help them out there in the world?
Yeah, so I mean, I teach pleasure positive sex education, right? So people really haven't learned a lot about like orgasms and pleasure. They've learned about like condoms and STDs and STIs, if they've learned anything at all, right? And so I just teach people how to please themselves and how to please their partners. So I teach a fellatio workshop, a cunnilingus workshop, some couples classes, and some women's workshops as well.
Well-rounded.
Yeah. So like, what do you say is like the most like trouble area, or not even trouble, just like what do people like focus on like when they inquire your services?
Yeah, so that's why I started teaching the workshops, right? The number one thing that people who love men want to know is like how to suck a penis, right? What are some good like tips and tricks? And then for people who love people with clitorises, right? They typically are like, well, what's the best way to make my person orgasm faster or orgasm at all? Because I mean, look, I show the clitoris to a room full of women and they don't even know what it is. So a lot of like women don't know what it is either. So like we can't be mad at y'all if y'all don't know, if we don't know. So I just try to do my best to educate everybody.
Damn, that's alarming.
Yeah, that is. Wow.
Do you want to see a clitoris? Can I show you a clitoris?
Yeah. Are we going to get kicked off YouTube?
Right. Are we not going to?
Show me the
that's education, guys.
Show me the
Hey, she about to bring back a pussy.
I'm not. See, that's the thing. So what you guys normally see on the outside is the vulva, right? But this is the clitoris.
That look like a Disney cartoon.
It looks like
embodiment.
Okay, so
So it's
what
not
you
just the
see,
little
though, on the
tip,
outside,
it's the whole thing.
what you see is just this part, right? So when you're looking at the vulva, all you see is just the little nub on the outside, just that little, you know, you lift up the lips on the inside, you see that little nub. But this is what's behind all of that. And this is the key to all pleasure, external orgasms, internal orgasms. The G spot is just the back part of this.
Gotcha.
Right? So yeah, so a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people with clitorises don't know that. So a lot of people who love clitorises don't know that either. You know what this looks like? This looks a lot like a penis, right? Like, you know, you look
Wait
at
a
the
minute.
little
Balls.
neck, it's got the
I was gonna say that.
it does. It's got balls and everything. All
Yeah.
penises start out as one of these, and then y'all grew, you know, your chromosomes transform shit, and this shaft grew into a shaft of a penis, and this head grew into the head of the dick, and then you grew balls, and that's how you became
My
a
dick.
man, right? So,
That's my dick.
but guess what?
It is,
Okay,
yeah.
so you know how your dick likes to be sucked, right? Clitorises like
Absolutely.
to be sucked as well, and nobody talks about that. Okay, so that's one of the things that I talk about in my classes.
Well, that's one of the reasons too, Reba, right? Why the clitoris is so sensitive, because we do think of it as just being the piece that we see, but it's connected to so many nerves, and it's actually more sensitive than what we can imagine as men. So,
It's a lot more dense. Like, if you think about your penis, right? If you took your penis and you shrunk it into like this little tiny thing, right? That's exactly what the clitoris is. Because the clitoris, when it gets aroused, it swells and it gets hard, just like penises do.
I can see that.
And then it's like a concentrated area, so it makes sense that it's more sensitive. Okay.
So you
I hear you.
you introduced the map on how to get to certain areas. Okay, Al. Okay. So yeah. I mean, anybody watching this,
so
be sure y'all.
The thing is, like you have to recognize that.
Go ahead. I mean, not go ahead.
Anybody watching this, be sure y'all. I was just gonna say, you have to make sure that like you know that your person's clitoris is like how it works, right? Like not all clitorises work in the same way. Some clitorises.
What happened?
Oh man.
She'll be back.
But yeah, anybody that's watching this right now, make sure you ask any questions that you want to ask her for. It could have been you, Al, but yeah, ask any questions you have for Reba. She's a sex educator. Anything that you know that's been on your mind in the bedroom, how to get there, stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah. How do I take it there?
Yeah, y'all can. Yeah, hell
right.
yeah, y'all can
I
definitely.
That was a great icebreaker. That was about to be.
That was a nice little start to the sex talk and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was like educational. It wasn't on no like fucking like just raunchy shit. It was like, hey, like look at this. You know what I mean?
I didn't even expect it to be raunchy anyway, though, just because I know there's a level of professionalism here as well.
Yeah,
exactly. Like this,
but yeah.
But if anybody does have any questions you want to ask her, please type it in the chat.
Please chime in.
Yeah, because I have some questions.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Y'all. That was me.
Nah, you good?
Yeah. I got some questions.
I was saying something and then I got kicked off. What happened?
You were talking about make sure you know your spouse's clitoris. Everybody's clitoris is different.
Yeah, so not all. So 70% of people with clitorises need external stimulation to reach orgasm. That means you got to do a little rubbing on the outside, even if you've got some penetration going on, for them to reach orgasm. Then you've got the remaining 30% of people with clitorises who can reach orgasm from penetration. It really just depends on where the most sensitivity is for those people with clitorises. Like some people can reach orgasm from you just playing with their balls, right? It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Some people can reach orgasm from you just playing with the back of their clitoris and not the external part. But most people need you to, play with the whole thing. That's kind of the point that I try to get to. So
So when so let me ask you this. So when a female, quote unquote, when they say squirt, right? When a female squirts, like what is that? Is that her being overstimulated? Like, is that piss? Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Like because there's like a lot of people who have different views on like what that is. So
That should be warm.
So please break that down to me. Like, what is happening in the female vagina at that point in time for to go ape shit like that?
That's a good question. Oh, you frozen? Oh
no. Bear with us. We experiencing some technical difficulties.
Hey, need that answer.
Yeah, we do need that answer.
Oh, we need that one. We need that one. Oh man.
Yeah. Anybody else got any? Yeah.
What's up, Simo?
What up? What up?
Reba.
Baconator King.
I think it's because I'm on my phone, so I'm gonna switch to my computer. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay, cool.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll hold it down.
What's up, Simo? Baconator King. What's up, brother? You good now? You good?
Yeah, man. I had some seafood.
Oh, all right.
Had these big ass snow crab king legs and shit.
Damn, where you get that from?
Some lobsters. I ordered it online.
From where, nigga?
Oh, my bad. It's called Pike Place Fish Market.
Okay.
Oh, Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
Them niggas is fancy over there.
That's where they be that's where they be catching the fish at on Monday Night Football.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The pier?
Yeah.
Timo's a bougie. He's a bougie ass nigga.
Like he just ordered stuff for fucking across the.
Nah, man. I keep seeing these. I guess it's my feed. What I be following or whatever. I was just about to say. I keep seeing
your cookies.
Yeah, I keep seeing these man was eating all the crab legs and shit. I'm like, Doc, I'm about to make me one of these seafood
Fish.
boils or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. Sounds good.
I be craving that shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like once
seafood,
just crab legs in general, like that boil shit.
Yep.
Like once I have it, like I have to have it, like
yeah,
like nonstop. I crave
especially
that
them potatoes that's just simmering and my god, and the corn.
Yep.
That's a hearty meal right there too.
It don't be. I still be hungry.
God damn! Look at that joint.
Yeah.
I can't even finish this joint.
Damn. He gonna be hovering over the damn camera soon.
Butter dropping off on the lens.
You got to roll them sleeves back.
That's right. That's right. I had me a vat of butter.
Yeah, man. So y'all don't be scary asking these questions.
Hey, I'm not. Trust me. I'm coming.
Yeah, be talking about.
No, I
just don't want to.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, we back.
We back.
Is that better?
Yeah, a whole lot better. Yep.
You good?
Okay. So you asked me if it was pee. When a woman squirts, is it pee? No, it's not pee. It's not. But it does. So the only studies that have been done about squirting are to determine if it's pee or not. And what they found out is that there are enzymes in it that prove that parts of it come from the bladder, but we don't know. Like it's not. If you put pee and this compound on a microscope together, they're not identical compounds. They're not the same. So it's not. Is it similar to pee? Probably, but you could say that vaginal fluid is similar to pee. It all comes out down there, involuntarily, right? So the other thing is, when a person squirts, they could be squirting during an orgasm. Like I've been with a partner who squirts like a fountain every time she orgasms. It was just like if we had to get waterproof sheets. It was wild, right? But then some people squirt just like, how when your tongue kind of like when your tongue
I've seen that.
It kind of just squirts out. Sometimes that happens during sex for folks too. And it's not an orgasm. It's just something that happened, right?
Okay.
The other thing is sometimes people don't. Sometimes people's bodies just don't squirt, and that's okay too. But that squirt fluid, the squirting, the ejaculate that women produce is coming not from the urethra. So that's why it's not pee to me, right?
Okay.
It's not coming out of the urethra, but there are little glands on the outer part of like right underneath the urethra called the Skene's glands. And that's what produces, or at least that's what educators believe.
It's called what? It's called what?
The Skene's glands.
Is that where they get ski from?
I don't know.
They ain't that smart. Yeah.
So it's just basically it's the vagina's way of gleeking. Got you.
Kinda, yeah. I don't know what's a gleek. Can y'all explain that to me?
Like you said, when somebody talks and
that's called gleeking.
Yeah, it's called a gleek.
Yeah. Well,
it probably is.
But for some people, it is their orgasm. Like some people, when they orgasm, they gush or they squirt out a little bit. Like so.
Is there a particular maneuver that one can do to to speed up the process of squirting? Seriously, you watch these porns and shit. Like these motherfuckers be going crazy, and like these chicks be squirting. but it's crazy. But you know what I'm saying?
Not all of them, bro. That's part of their resume.
And right, so here's the thing. What you see in porn is really performative, right? It's a performance, right? So these people have trained their bodies to do these things that don't typically do, bodies don't always do. Now, there are some people who can tell when their squirt is coming and they can, stimulate the clitoris in a way that works for them that will help induce that squirting, right? But I'm gonna be honest, y'all. When y'all knew me, when I was in college, I used to tell guys that I was sleeping with that I squirted because it gets y'all to try harder.
Oh, okay. Mind trick.
So
Jedi trick.
There is no actual method that I can tell you that's gonna work every time to get every girl to squirt, because that's just not how I work.
Gotcha.
Hey, so when you said porn, right, Reba, do you find like that sets people up for false aspirations and shit? Like you can't like that is a theatrics. Like you chasing false gold when you do shit like that.
Look, I think porn is good for stimulating yourself visually if you want to get in the mood or you want to masturbate or whatever, right? But I don't think that you should be comparing your sex life and what is happening during real actual sex between consenting humans and what paid actors are being paid to do on screen. It's just two totally different things.
Right.
Yeah. So we jumped into
I have another question.
Oh, go ahead, Remy.
Hey, how much do you think, if somebody's roughing up their main suspect, right? How many what's an unhealthy amount?
That's a good question.
If it's getting in the way of your ability to do normal things, like get your fucking work done and do the responsibilities that adults are required to do, then that's a problem. But I mean, I can't really say a number of times per day that you should be that you should or shouldn't be masturbating. It's up to you. Whatever's normal for you. Some people have really high sex drives, and in order not to cheat on their person, they to masturbate often, and that's okay, and it's also, look, it's okay to have a really healthy relationship with pleasure for yourself, to know what turns you on and how you want to be touched and what makes you orgasm quickly or not. So no, I don't think, but also I question what the intention is. If it's just why you need to bust a nut right now? If you bust 10 nuts already today, why do we need to try to bust another one? Also, y'all's penises don't really have there's only so much orgasms that you can have unless you're having prostate orgasms, which I can talk to y'all about, but I don't know if y'all are ready.
Nah, we good on that. I do have another masturbation question.
Wait. What if I told y'all could get prostate orgasms without anybody putting anything in your butthole?
I still don't even trust. Does it have to go through my stomach then? What has happened?
You talking about the gooch area?
There you go. Somebody knows their pleasure. Okay, Remy.
The taint.
But hold on. I don't want. All right, we can go back there, but I don't want to forget this question.
Yeah,
all right, so when women are masturbating, right, they got all these tools and toys and shit, right? Do you can a female like ruin her sensitivity with like some of these like ultra powered 10,000 vibrator shit like that. If you just like if you at home and you got a 3-day weekend, you just going at it, boom, boom, zzz. Like, can you like throw your sensitivity off if you're doing it like nonstop?
Mine would be thong. Okay. Here's what happens. Let me see. Okay, so people say that like vibrators desensitize you, right? You've heard that people say that, or you'll hear men say in particular, "Oh, well, a vibrator. If she's using vibrators, then she's never going to come with me because I can't do what a vibrator does. My body can't move that fast, right?" And here's the thing: on average, from masturbation, it takes men 6 minutes to reach orgasm. 6. Tell me if I'm lying or not. On average, right? So that's between 5 and 10 minutes. That's 6 minutes.
Nope.
So, right? So, but for us, on average, it takes us 20 minutes to reach orgasm from masturbation. That's 20 minutes. You hear me? You hear what I'm saying? 20 minutes. Now, with a vibrator, it cuts that time in half. You understand? So it's not about like how powerful it is. It's about how quickly it cut 20 minutes into 2. You know what I'm saying? So
convenient.
It's not a high powered thing. It's just helping. It's keeping her from having to be there for 2 hours instead of, you know what I mean? But here's the thing: if she's using it every day, you're right, Remy. She got a girls' weekend. She's doing it every day for 3 days, and then again for 3 more, and then again for 3 more, and then again for 3 more. Then it's gonna take her a lot longer that last time than it did that first time because her body's just built up a tolerance to that sensation to get her to reach orgasm. Now, it is not true that a person who uses vibrators is not going to reach orgasm for you. It is true that they probably weren't reaching orgasm in the first place because nothing was happening on the outside of their clitoris, right? Because that's what's required for 70% of people to reach orgasm. So using a vibrator is actually going to increase the likelihood that your partner is going to reach orgasm within the 6 to 10 minute time frame that you can give her.
Gotcha.
So
speeds the process up.
I think we all can say we enjoy it.
As a man, do you think if a man, because I know you said it was like a healthy, like, you know, the masturbate or whatever, but do you think as a man, like if a man, because, you know, we want, for the most part, you know, you get your nut, you pretty much done. But so if dudes is, you know, jacking off all the time, like, does that affect their sexual performance at a point? You know what I'm saying?
It just, yeah. So it depends. So you guys have this thing called a refractory period, right? And so that's the period of time after your penis orgasms that it doesn't respond to any kind of sexual stimuli. It's like flopping around, right? It won't get hard, won't do nothing.
Noodle.
Right? That for like a couple minutes, right? So that the refractory period. Right. It makes it a little harder for you to like, you know, keep going back to back to back. So if you masturbate and you orgasm, if you masturbate to orgasm, right? Right before you're about to have sex with a person, then you might be in the middle of that refractory period when it comes time to have sex. And so your penis isn't getting up and you're wondering why. So that could, you know, you have to time it. If you gotta know what your refractory period is, right? The other thing is, it is healthy to masturbate. It is very healthy to masturbate, but like your goal doesn't have to be orgasm. You don't have to get to the finish line every time. Right? Because when you can masturbate and get some pleasure out of it and feel good and then stop, then the next time you do that, the resulting orgasm is going to be really good for you. And if you're doing that with a partner, then it feels really good and you might even last a little longer.
Yeah. I was watching this Asian dude on YouTube talking about like what he's like something about like shining the sword or something like that. You gotta like sharpening the sword. You gotta like get there and then let it go.
Don't do nothing. It actually makes you stronger. Believe it or not, it makes you stronger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It does. Because you're supposed to be serving pleasure for her for real too. Unless like,
why y'all sniggling, man? Come on, man, grow up.
So I got a 2-part question for Reba. So Reba, in your line of work, right? So like the average person you talk to, what advice would you give for women, you know, sexually, and men? And then I was also going to ask, since Brian asked about the squirting, leg shaking. So there's uncontrollable leg shaking as well. And what do you reference that to? I know it's not every woman, but is that reference to orgasm as well? Like,
So let me answer that question first, and then we can go back to the advice for men and women, right? So leg shaking, involuntary leg shaking happens, right? Because our bodies, when we orgasm, what happens is our bodies, you feel that contracting, right? You've ever seen those muscles start to contract, right? That is the building up of tension in our pelvic floor, right? All of that contracting and releasing and contracting is building up tension in our pelvic floor, and our orgasm is the release of that tension. And when we release, we tremble. And that leg shaking is kind of like, I don't know if you've ever been so cold that like your body just kind of, right? Like even when you get warm, your body's still kind of trembling. That's kind of the same, like that's the closest thing I can relate to the way our bodies tremble once we've had a release like that, right? So leg shaking is a good thing, right? And it's also a thing that you can't fake. Like you can't.
Right. That's like a prime, like example of her not being able to control it. So
exactly.
Paul here hit that spot.
Yes, it's kind of like, okay, you know how when you rub a dog on their belly, it's kind of like, that kind of involuntary movement. We really can't. It just, our bodies are literally releasing so much tension that we just can't help but tremble. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the advice for men and women, right? So I'm assuming we're talking about heterosexual men and women.
Yes, please.
Like, okay. So, well, just want to, I don't know your viewership. You never know. I have some lesbians on here that are like, wait a minute, but okay. So anyway, so.
Oh no.
For men, no, I don't mean on here. I know y'all are. Don't do that. Okay, so number.
I think he was talking.
You good.
For men. For women, let me say, for women, I would say know your pleasure, right? All of our clitorises work differently. So it's important for you to know how your pleasure works so that you're not like, oh, yeah, put it in me. And you don't even know that you have to put a little on the outside too, right? So know your pleasure so you can communicate that to your partner and stop faking orgasms. For these men, okay, like for what? Why are you lying? Don't lie, because you're not getting anything out of that, right? And like I teach a fellatio workshop, and women are always like, "Well, what do I do with my teeth?" And I'm like, "Has anybody ever complained about your teeth?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Men are not like us. Men will not be like, oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings. She just was scraping my dick with her teeth." No, y'all would be like, "Stop, that hurt. Wow. Take my dick out, right?"
Please.
We're not the same way. Oh, he didn't make me orgasm, so I'm just gonna fake it so he can just get it over with. Like,
that's
no,
a great
stop
point.
fucking doing that. Don't do that. That's number one. So for the men, it's like pay attention, okay? Because we will please you. We will do what we need to please you. So much of our worth is caught up in the way our pussy makes you feel. So, like, pay attention. If you really care about our pleasure, put our pleasure first. Like I said, men are like, so you guys take 6 minutes to reach orgasm. We take 20. And this is from masturbation. Okay. So men are like microwaves and women are like ovens, right? So microwave, boop, boop, done, right? But with the oven, you got to do a little preheating. So figure out how to preheat your oven. If that's oral, if that's massage, if that's putting a vibrator on it because you're lazy, like figure it out. But you need to preheat your oven before you try to turn on the microwave. Otherwise, we're going to be satisfied for 14 minutes. We're going to be unsatisfied for 14 minutes. Know that.
Crazy, yeah.
Okay.
So, quick question because we talk about orgasms.
Yes.
How much does diet play a part in orgasms? And then stay with me on this second part question.
Health, like overall health.
Yeah, overall health. And then like with your diet and the tasting of orgasms, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know the pineapple juice theory and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to also want you to expound on that if you can.
Yes, so that's a great question. And I'm married to a chef, so I'm very equipped to answer that question. But I want to say first, your first question is impressive. So the question is, how much does desire play a role in sex, right? That was diet play a role in sex. Got you. Okay. So diet is very important to sex because, all right, especially for men, erections are all about blood flow, right?
Mm.
Your heart pumps blood down to the penis. Your penis has all these veins in it. The veins bring blood from the heart to the penis. It swells with blood, and then boop, it reaches orgasm, right? If you have arteries that are clogged in your heart, then guess what? Those arteries that lead to your penis are also going to then become clogged, and you're not going to be able to have as much of an erection or keep an erection, or you might orgasm too fast, or you might not orgasm at all. All of these are signs of erectile dysfunction, right?
Yep.
And
Indeed.
diet can really help with erectile dysfunction in that leafy green foods have nitric oxide in them, and nitric oxide helps with blood flow. Okay, so the more we can eat for our hearts, the better our penises are going to do. So yes, diet is very important, right? And I know that's not what you want to have, but that's what I wanted to say. Now, taste. Plant-based people taste best on some real shit. Like, they taste best.
Plant-based? You said plant-based?
Plant-based people taste best. And I'm not a plant-based person, but I do know from firsthand experience, whether you're male or female, plant-based people, their sweat tastes better, their bodily fluids taste better, their semen, their vaginal fluids, they just taste, it tastes better, right? Because it's sweeter. It's not like, I find that people
processed foods,
right?
and all
It's
that shit.
processed foods and like greasy meats and like all of that, like fried deliciousness makes your semen and your bodily fluids taste like battery acid. Like it just doesn't
makes total sense.
So
just think about how that shit smell when that should be like sitting out. Like that should be. Yeah.
So that's in your body,
right?
Like sitting inside your body and coming out through your pores, right? So taste your sweat. If your sweat tastes gross, then your semen probably tastes gross too.
I don't want to do that correlation, so I'm not going to taste my sweat ever.
You taste your sweat all the time, though. Like
when you sweat, like on your like lip or something,
yeah, you lick your lip. You taste your sweat all the time. You know, don't be like that. It's your sweat. It comes out of your body. That's why I tell men to taste their semen too, because you want me to swallow it. You better know what the fuck you're doing.
I was just gonna speak to the.
I was with you, Reba. I was with you. I was with you, but nah, not that one.
I was just gonna say, drink a little water if y'all a little salty with the sweat. But dang, they out here drinking their own.
Try to slip that in.
They drinking their own babies.
Water does help though.
Okay, I gotta, because you said something about like talking with how important is like talking, like communication in the bedroom, like, you know what I mean, narrating and stuff like that?
Okay, wait. So that's important. Yes, I want to talk about that. But I want to talk about, we talked about diet for men, but can we talk about diet for women for one
second? Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we can.
So y'all, I want to just address the pineapples thing, right? Because they say that for people with vaginas too, right? And the thing is, you know how acidic our vaginal environments are? Do you know?
Yeah,
what's the level?
Y'all are supposed to stay dry. Like that's the secret.
Gotta get them pHs right.
Wait, what you mean? Dry?
So we want to avoid having like a very sweaty environment down there, because oils and sweats and bacteria from our clothes, and from our underwear, they kind of like can linger inside of our vaginal environments. But our vaginal environments on the pH scale are between a 3.8 and a 4.5, which is closer to orange juice than it is to water.
Damn.
So that's why they say pineapples, right? Because pineapples are high in vitamin C, and this would help. This internally helps to regulate your pH. But eating pineapples right now is not going to prepare me for oral sex with my partner in an hour from now. Like that's just not how food works. You know what I mean? It's not how diets work. But but it is true that, like, okay, semen is between a 7 and an 8. Like water is a 7, right? Semen is between a 7 and an 8 on the pH scale. So it's more basic than it is acidic. So when semen enters the vaginal environment, guess what it does? It raises the pH. It causes odors and bacterial infections and yeast infections in there. So just be careful what you're leaving in the vaginal environment and then calling somebody dirty for it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is there like something that you can like extract though? Like is there a way to, like, you know what I mean, clean that up? Like after, I mean, I'm just saying, like after the fact,
right?
Like no, not even a juice. I'm just talking about. No, like, not
Summer's
like,
Eve.
Nigga, shut up. I'm talking about like, I'm just, you know what I mean, saying like after you do it, like what's like, you know, procedure to like, you know.
Yeah, what's the proper procedure?
Yeah.
So proper procedure is to let the person go to the bathroom and take care of themselves, right? Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing really that you can do. Now, if you like come all over them, then yes, proper procedure is to like wipe that shit up immediately, right?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah, and I'm talking about like inside, like if you're doing inside.
okay, so if you're
cream
inside
pies.
of your partner, right? Okay, so they have to go to the bathroom, right? It's important for them to go to the bathroom, and I recommend just sitting over the toilet for a little bit to just let it kind of, it drips out, like it's just a tube, so it just kind of it drips out. And then our vaginas are self-cleaning organs, so they will, you know, when we have our period, it'll start to push all that shit out, and it'll be fine. But I do not recommend douching at all. Like douching, no summer's eve, none of that shit, because it's water, right? And so what they're essentially, and it's like rose petals and shit, and that doesn't go. It's not supposed to go into a vaginal environment. So when you put that shit into a vaginal environment, yeah, it might smell good for a couple of days, but it's actually doing a lot more harm than good. You know what I mean? Because now the vaginal environment is working overtime to try to get rid of the semen that was in there, and now this other bullshit that you put in there that's supposed to make it smell like flowers and rainbows, but it's vagina. It's supposed to smell like vagina.
Vagina, yeah.
True.
Y'all know what vagina smells like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. I got pulled over with somebody when I was in my 20s. I got pulled over and we had weed in the car, and I put the weed, you know, I hid it because we got pulled over. And then we got back to the place and they were like, all right, give me the weed. I'm about to roll up. And I gave it to them and they opened it and they were like, oh, I know where this was.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, pussy smells like pussy, right? Just pussy, it smells like pussy. So.
Pussy OG. Pussy OG.
No, you're right. Pussies, they do have scent. They do. I don't want to pretend like, all right, some pussy doesn't smell bad. Some pussy does smell bad. And like, depending on the time of the month and what her pH balance looks like, typically if you're smelling like a fishy odor or like a yeasty odor, it's because their vaginal environment is higher than a 5.
Right. That's a stench. That's when it's a stench. It's not
Well,
a smell, it's a
but
stench.
this is because there's a pH imbalance, right? Something is happening. Either they're wearing leggings too long, or they didn't go to the bathroom after sex, or they, you know, have been using summer's eve for too long, and now, you know, on the back end of that shit, it's like, ooh, what is that smell, right? Because it's not supposed to look like that. So, I mean, or smell like that. So, yeah, there is, and like also right after your period, like period blood has a smell. Right? It has a distinct smell, but when it sits for a long time, it has a really bad smell. If you've just never, like, thankfully you guys, like, if you've never like been around somebody who's been injured, but like blood stinks. Like it just has like this metallic, metally smell.
Metal type smell. Yep.
Yeah, it's
like
metally. Yeah, that's
iron and shit.
iron. Yeah, that's and so if it just sits, then it starts to really smell bad, and that's why, you know, that's really the culprit in my mind for a lot of the stench that we smell. It's like people who don't really know how to properly manage their period. That's all.
Got you.
Also, so saying like all the like summer's eve and pH and all that stuff, is there any like supplement or diet or anything like that can help your like wetness or stamina?
All right, so y'all seen those like Mojo pills at the gas station, right? That's supposed to help y'all stay hard. They
White
have
rhinos, Magnum,
right, so they got like, and the like
no headache guaranteed.
One of my sex educator buddies just sent me some for women, and she was like, will you try these out? I'm like, hell no. So here's the thing. Yes, I'm sure there are like herbs that can help with your blood flow, right?
Horny goat weed.
Yeah, and that can help with your libido, and that can help with your mood. And when you put them all together, I'm sure they do help with those things. But I think because the FDA doesn't regulate any dietary supplements at all, I think it's a really bad idea to like just trust me. I work at the gas station. I know.
Especially the gas station.
What about all these people that's pushing like sea moss on people that say like this gets you, you know, your right. I mean, it gets well, at least for the men, because you said like it's a lot about circulation. So sea moss don't help with circulation.
Black seed.
So here's the thing. If again, when it goes back to diet and we start to talk about things that are good for circulation and good that have nitric acid oxide in them and have other like minerals and vitamins that help with blood flow, yes, it's gonna make you feel like, oh, this is it. But like if you are having problems with your erection and you're expecting whatever, horny goat weed, sea moss, whatever, to like turn your limp shrimp to like hardwood, then like, no, this is not
right.
like, you know, we have to address the root of the problem, which is often like underlying like chronic disease. Like for a lot, like we're all Black people. Like let's talk about like heart disease, and this
hypertension,
is hypertension, diabetes. All of these things lead to erectile dysfunction, and this is why men go get Viagra and Cialis, and then go gas station pills, and it exacerbates that underlying condition, and they end up having heart attacks or, God forbid, dead. And they because their dick stopped working, and instead of going to the doctor, they went to the gas station.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Reba, back to the talking question.
Yes. Okay.
How important is that?
Ooh, strippers. No. Okay, talking is very I'm sorry. Talking is very important, right? You cannot expect your partner to be a mind reader. And if neither one of you is being intentional about pleasure, then you're gonna find yourself stuck in a like pleasure loop, like a rut, like just kind of, what do they call it? Like it's bed death. That's right. It's just boring.
Right.
And so talking about it, talking consistently about your pleasure and about your fantasies and about what turns you on, not just about your partner, like what turns you on about your partner and what turns you on about what you guys do and what you want to try together. Consistently having those conversations is going to make sure that you aren't having bed death and that your partner is feeling like safe and loved and wanting to explore even more things with you, because you can't just expect her to be, you know, an angel in the streets and a freak in the sheets if she doesn't even know what you like, because you don't even know what you like. So
that's true.
But I was more importantly like putting emphasis on talking while in the act.
Oh, like dirty talk.
Not even dirty talk, just like I'm your like your I don't know, your coach on the sideline, but in the game. But in the game.
You're your player coach.
Yeah.
So this is how you do it? Yeah, just like that. Okay, and then up and down and left and right.
I mean, yeah.
Time out.
Like,
and like that's what you're saying.
Not like I'm not giving directions. I'm not saying like bop it, twist it,
you just
change it, like
riding the ship to shore.
Yeah, I'm just, you know what I mean, saying, oh, that feel good, put it there. She telling me like that, you know what I mean, faster, stronger, harder. You know what I mean?
Women are really communicative people, right? You know that. We always want to talk. We always want to express our feelings. We want to, like, you know, we always want to do a lot of this. And so, yes, talking during sex for a lot of women is going to be like, ooh, the thing that like really massages their brain, which is their biggest sexual organ, right? The biggest sexual organ in anybody's body is the brain. So if you can massage the brain with your words, then great. Now, if you have a partner who is like, shut the fuck up and fuck me, then like that talking shit is going to be like pointless.
Hey, but if you say that, that's talking to me.
That can go somewhere. That could be something.
Yeah.
So. But you have to like talking to your partner about what they like is what's most important. And then like they'll tell, like, if you ask a woman, hey, you know, do you like it? Like, do it, right? And then you say you like after it's done, you like it when I do it like that. Yeah, she'll tell you. She'll tell you.
So I shouldn't be saying twist it, bop it.
No, I mean, no. I'm saying people will enjoy the, like, you know, the coaching and the guidance and the, like, what's it called? The affirmation that, like, what's doing, what you're doing feels good. People like that. That communication is really good. But you're right. Don't be bopping it, telling her to bop it. Unless she likes that. I mean, I don't want to, like, judge anybody's kink. She might like that shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. How you feel about role playing?
I think if more couples did it, they would have more spice in their relationship. I think role play is fun.
Just because, like, it's so many, like, we are introduced to so many, like, different, you know, types of lifestyles. We watch reality TV and shit like that, or you know what I'm saying? We know all type of, you know, different professions. Like, I could be, you know what I mean, I could be like your Uber driver and we pull up and we can get it popping or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it gets you out of your head. Like, you know, we're always stuck on, like, oh, the, you know, the grocery list or what we got to do at work or the laundry or the kids or, like, you know,
right.
Sexy enough. And like when you can be another person, you get out of your head and into that character, and you'd be surprised at like how people react when they don't have to be themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
That leads me to another question. The whole everyday, kids work. Nowadays you need 2 or 3 hustles, shit like that. How many times a week do I gotta get it in for like my, or whoever's partner to be, satisfied or just keep the dogs away?
That depends, honestly. It depends on your partner, right? Because if your partner has a high libido, then it's gonna be a lot more than a person who doesn't have a high libido. But your partner also could have a high libido, and the stress is just eating at that shit. So you never know. So here's what I say, right? This is what I told my husband the first 3 years of marriage. I was like, look, if you want to have sex, wash the fucking dishes, okay?
Damn. We talked about that last week.
Damn. Yeah, we were.
Like that is that's really sexy, and B, that gives me time, right? That's 20 minutes that I would have spent tonight washing the fucking dishes that I can now spend having sex with you or sucking your dick or whatever it is because you wash the dishes. Like that's great. Fold the sheets. Like do some shit that's
from having
to do the thing that I don't want to do, and then that's gonna make me want to do the thing because I don't have to do it anymore. My brain isn't focused on that shit. It can be focused on you.
Take notes, guys.
That's a good one. That's a good one when she put it like that. But I don't think that's the mindset of a lot of women. Like wash the dishes and you get sex. I think it's just, oh, thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think you should be intentional about why you wash the dishes. Don't just wash the dishes and expect to be rewarded with sex. Hey, look, baby, I'm about to wash these dishes because that'll free up 20 minutes for us to Because then you can set the expectation, and if she like, nah, don't wash the dishes, then don't wash the fucking dishes.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true though.
So I got a quick question. This might actually be one of the quickest, but a lot of issues that come in the sexual aspect comes when you have a baby, right? So I guess my question, and I don't have a newborn, but this is for some people that might have one or might, be gearing towards that. What do you recommend when somebody, does, or a couple does have a newborn and they're trying to, get that rhythm back, because a couple could be, fine 100% sexually, and then when they have a kid, it does,
that's a good question.
Affect that.
So when you have a kid, that means the amount of time that you are having sex just greatly decreased, right? Like you end up going spans that you never thought you'd go without having sex, right? But your desire doesn't. Well, okay. Sometimes desire decreases too. I don't want to say that, right? Desire is just like, I don't even want it. I've been cleaning up throw up all day. Like, who wants to have sex after that? I smell like milk. This is not fun, right? But there are those moments where you do have the desire, and it's like, I can't do it because the baby's crying or whatever. But in that moment, you still feel desire, is what I'm saying, right? And it's important to capitalize on those moments, right? So, maybe write your spouse like a sexy love note or text or whatever, right? In those moments, so that you guys aren't missing them. You guys can still pass them along to each other, right? The other thing is, and this is something that we do in my couple workshop, is you can write down like all the nasty, freaky things you would do if you guys had an hour together, right? Just an hour. Write them down on a piece of paper and put them in a jar, right? And then hire a babysitter once a week if you can afford it for an hour, right? And take if it's like in a relative or like a play date or whatever, just have them go away for 1 hour every week and pick something out of the jar for that hour to do with your partner, right? Don't clean the house, don't take a nap, don't, unless that's what's on the card, unless it says the sexiest thing I can think of right now. That's fine. If that's what you decide y'all want to do, then fine. But notice you have to intentionally focus on pleasure because it will be forgotten. Right? You get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the daily life and being a parent and still being employed and all of the hustles, and it becomes a lot. And so you have to really intentionally make time for pleasure. And I know folks are like, oh, you have to plan sex. And it's like, yeah, you do. You have to plan sex. The baby will get older and you don't have to do that anymore. But for these first 3 to 5 years, yes, you're going to have to plan it out. And honestly, for the first 1 to 2, you have to expect that your partner's body is not going to really be ready either, right? So you may have to find other creative ways to have sex with your partner and reach orgasm. Outer course instead of intercourse. Outer course, finding ways to help your partner reach orgasm instead of penetration, because babies come out of that same place that you're trying to put things into. And the shit, it just, yes, it snaps back, but it takes a while, and our hormones make things all crazy. And sometimes it can be really painful down there. Sometimes our bodies aren't producing as much lubrication, especially if we're breastfeeding. And if we're breastfeeding for 3 years, then we need to like find a good formula, you know what I mean? Like that is gonna keep us well lubricated, but our doctors aren't telling us that. So we're just thinking that we're not in the mood because our shit's not getting lube, but we're aroused. Like there's a lot that happens that nobody talks about. So yeah, you have to like be patient for the first year or two with your partner and their body and their body's recovery. A whole fucking human just came out of their body. And so you can't just expect it to be ready for penises after 6 weeks. I know that's what the doctor says, but
So does hydration help with lubrication?
Yes. The more hydrated you are, the better. If your person is a cannabis user, they need to drink extra water because yes, it does. It helps.
Hey Reba, so that's what I was gonna ask you. Like I was on your link tree, right? And you got this sex and cannabis. So like can you detail that? Like
yes, y'all know I love me some cannabis. I am a cannabis advocate. And so but yeah, no, cannabis can be used for sexual activity for a lot of reasons, right? It can be used topically, like in lubes and in arousal oils. It can be used
I saw that in oils.
Like CBD or THC or both.
Both. And I'm a whole
shit. I need to make some of that.
THC.
Yeah, no, I'm a whole plant advocate. I think that the whole plant should be used. And I know like nobody's ever gonna hire me to say this because THC is still outlawed, but you cannot take a half of a plant and expect it to do all the wonderful things that the whole plant can do, right? Plus, the CBD receptors need each other to work in the most optimal way. So, yes, I do. CBD works, and I love CBD for that reason, like because it's so universally available now. But if I had the choice, you know, I would definitely go with the THC.
Yeah,
everything. I need everything.
Yeah.
So
now wait. So if you're gonna use CBD or CBD and THC topicals, know that it's gonna take 20 minutes for any effects to start happening because it takes about that long for the substance to absorb into your skin. So
what would that stimulation be though with THC in the oil and stuff? Would it just make you more lax?
Yeah, so it relieves muscle tension. It also heightens.
But that's why I was asking about the whole muscle tension. You know, that could be a backfire
for y'all.
The males.
Yeah,
that's why I'm asking.
Yes, yes, it can be. So that's why you have to like learn your dose, right? With anything, you kind of have to learn what kind of dose works for you. Otherwise, you're gonna
think you're gonna show out and end up relaxed.
Fun fact. So male brains, there's a study that was done that said that male brains are more adversely affected by high levels of THC than female brains are. So that means like, you know how when we used to smoke and y'all be like this and I'll be like, come on, let's go. And y'all are like tired. Because like, this is just how our brains work. Like we can just tolerate higher levels of THC and it doesn't like make us not,
I can see that too.
So
sometimes,
So what about alcohol and sex? What about alcohol and sex?
Right. Oh, I got another
there
question.
Could be benefits. There could be benefits, but then there can also be negative effects of it as well. So like what's your outlook?
So let's talk about sex and substances. I think the same is true for anything. We're talking about cannabis or mushrooms or like really any like wine, like these all sex and substances. What's most important, right? And especially I have to be like responsible here and like just consent, right? Is what's most important when you're talking about sex and substances. Understanding that like a person can revoke their consent at any time. Even if like it's you just saying that because you had no, you said no, bitch. Okay, no, I'm not gonna touch you. Like this is what
right.
you know what I mean. Like it's important to remember consent and also know that like under the influence, you might make judgments that aren't grounded in reality, especially if you're too high. So just everything in moderation, right? So like you can make sure that none of that shit happens to you and that you are having a good time and that your partner has a good time as long as you are consistently checking in and getting enthusiastic consent and like not over like know that when you're done, like when you've overdone it, if you've overdone it or if your partner's overdone it, then you shouldn't do anything. Right? Like those are two things to remember when you're dealing with this. But other than that, I mean, substances help us release our inhibitions, right? I'm more likely to forget about the work and the grocery list and the kids and all that shit if I've had a J, you know what I mean? Or a glass of wine or a bar of mushroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, it's sex and substances.
That tunnel vision
subject. Yeah, it's tricky because like it can help, but it also can like it can definitely backfire, especially if you're using too much.
Do the opposite.
Right.
Yeah. Especially like what about like times where say just like your whole relationship, or I'm not talking about like, you know, serious relationships, but just relationships where situations where it's like centered around getting lit and then, you know, entering that moment. You know what I'm saying? So
again, I'm gonna go back. I'm probably gonna talk about this a lot, but like intention is important, right? So like, what is my intention here? Is it just to bust a nut? Because could I do this with my hand? Would it feel as good? Like, you know what I mean? Because if it could, then why are we doing this with this person? And the other thing is like, yes, we all like have our vices, like we have our things, but we're also getting to a point where like in our 30s. We kind of require more substance and more of a connection. And sex, whether you want to admit it or not, it requires a level of intimacy. And intimacy is not like relationship, walking down the aisle kind of thing. It's like it takes a level of vulnerability for you to see me naked and see the parts that only few people have seen of me, right? So with that level of vulnerability comes a level of intimacy with whoever you're with, whether you're in a situationship or a long-term relationship. And so recognizing that as a grown-ass man in your 30s, like knowing that I'm a grown-up and I'm not about this bullshit, you start to question like, okay, well, what are the values of what is the offering that I'm getting out of this, right? We're kings and queens, right? So what offering am I getting and what offering am I giving? And like, if it's drugs and like mediocre sex, then it's important to like, know how are you going to get your fulfillment? What is this fulfilling for you?
Yeah,
that's true. And even going back to when you were talking about having sex and not essentially ejaculating, doing it for pleasure and stuff, because sometimes, you know, I don't want to give out the nut. So, you know, just, I mean, not like that. I'm talking about it being responsible.
Yeah, that's what you meant, nigga.
Responsible. Yeah. So, as a responsible.
But that's, I mean, it's true, especially like if you know that you have good sex, right? You know that you're getting a person to orgasm every time, and like you know what a clitoris is, you know how bodies work, so you know that like your partners are getting pleasure, then it's the same thing. Like it's like, oh, I know I have good dick, and like people go crazy off of good dick, so I'm not about to put it in everybody. That's a very responsible approach, right? And I think if more of us took that approach, then we wouldn't be in such like this hookup culture, right? We would genuinely just have sex with people when we are attracted to them, when we want to have sex with them, not because, oh, it's Monday and I got to bust a nut, so who am I going to jack off in today? Can I ask y'all a question? I have a question.
Yeah.
What's up?
So it's come to my attention recently that there is a difference between ejaculating and orgasming for men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's sometimes like when you like backed up or really concentrate on the nut, it feels a whole lot different.
Yeah.
You guys, explain? Can you say more about that? I mean, I know
if you like kind of like hold back, like if you like, I don't know. If like
one is more intimate though.
Yeah. Sometimes
one is definitely more intimate.
Sometimes you just trying to like, you know, get it off, and then there's other times where you kind of like reserve it and you build up to that point and you kind of hold back a little bit. You sharpen the sword and all that shit. I'm not talking about.
And then you let go.
And
that's what I compare to too. Yeah, like even if you're jacking off, it's just ejaculate real quick. It's almost like satisfying urge.
Right.
Like,
it's like you're. Yeah, I'm not going to detail too much.
Yeah, like it's a different.
Like basically. You saying like with having an orgasm without actually busting a nut? That's what you're saying. Is that what you're talking about?
No. So I think back. You can do both, right? So you can ejaculate, right? You can bust a nut and not orgasm, but then you can. It is possible to orgasm and not have anything come out. That's No, it is.
I haven't reached that point yet.
You might not know that because no one's been touching your prostate. But we'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They ain't touched mine.
Yeah, we can skip that one.
Mine ain't touched.
Lips that touch swine would never touch mine.
Okay. So you guys can eat groceries, but we can't.
Oh no, you can eat groceries. I just don't sell that at this store.
Okay.
Do whatever
making
you
a
want.
clip of that shit right there.
Making a clip of that. Don't get me wrong. I eat clean and all that. It's just I'm not. I haven't reached those levels yet. It's been tried before too. I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised at the amount that's been tried before by females on me though. Honestly.
But she's saying sometimes the prostate. You're not talking about like penetration. You're just talking about like the outside. You know what I mean? The gooch.
So I was talking about that. So can we just talk about the prostate?
Rimming.
I know y'all get so
not rimming, nigga. I'm talking about the gooch.
For a second, can we? So the prostate is a little organ. It sits on the inside of your body, right above the base of your penis, just between your rectum and your navel. And when you go to get your first prostate exam, whatever, in the next like 10, 20 years, a doctor will put a lubricated finger into your anus and curve it.
Oh hell no!
It's 2021. They got to find something better. They got to find something better than that.
They might have a little like whatever camera shit by then, but something will go into your anus. They will curve whatever that is, the finger, whatever, towards the navel, right? And it's looking for this walnut-sized object, right? Sometimes when a doctor finds it, if they're like rubbing around down there, sometimes men get hard and they start to ask.
Hell no! I'm sorry.
Really? Like, what the fuck? Why is my dick hard? Am I gay? Why'd you get the thing out my ass? Because what the hell, right? But at the end of the day, all men are hardwired to feel pleasure through the prostate, right? But the gooch, the taint, that little fuzzy freeway between the balls and the butthole, that's the perineum, it sits right underneath the base of the penis, which is right underneath the prostate, right? So, all right, y'all might have noticed this. Right behind your balls is a little bit of penis, right? The base of your penis actually stops behind your balls, right? That is the beginning of the perineum, right? And so if someone were to put upward pressure on the base of your penis behind your balls, then they could put upward pressure on the prostate as well and indirectly stimulate it without penetrating you at all. And here's why you might want a person to try that. Prostate orgasms are 33% more intense than penile orgasms. When you talk about the intensity of an orgasm, this one is intense every time, okay? And it doesn't have a refractory period.
Damn.
And it helps stagnant the rest of the base of your penis. So if you've ever seen those porns where like the person is like shooting out like high up all the way to the ceiling, those are prostate orgasms, more than likely.
What?
Also, we have a viewer question.
Okay.
She says, "Okay, is watching pornography before sex a healthy habit?"
I mean, if it helps you get in the mood, yeah, why not?
Hey, I didn't like back in college days. Some porno closed the deal a couple times. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it helps you get in the mood and it helps your partner get in the mood, then definitely, yeah. Now, if you're like, look,
But you can't match yourself to that.
Yeah, right. I need this because this is like the only kind of sex that I can have. Then like that might be a problem. But no, if it just gets you in the mood, no, it just gets the engine running.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that too. You just don't want to become like dependent on that shit every time you gotta have sex.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That's
true.
That get played out quick.
Damn. Yeah. So
thank you, Ms. Johnson, for the question.
Yep. Reba, you're amazing. You very informative.
That's very informative. Very.
I think our most importantly, we needed this shit, and our
Put some
female
mental
listeners,
notes.
our female listeners deserve this shit. Just tell them like where can they find you? Because I know they're gonna inquire you about some classes, especially
and make sure you plug those workshops that you were talking about too.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yes, yes. So
look at that. Look at Reba right there.
Me.
What is that maneuver called?
For your prostate.
That is no, the prostate isn't on there, but you can get there from okay. Anyway, so I'm on all social channels at Reba the Diva, and you can find all the information about our workshops and tickets and all of that at sexpertconsultants.com, or you can just shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'll send you the link because people are lazy. But thank you guys for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. I'm gonna put your link tree under this description after the show is over too, Reba.
Perfect.
Yep.
Hey, Reba, real quick before you go, 2 quick fact or fictions.
Okay.
Fact or fiction. Hennessy makes the increases your stamina.
Fiction.
All right, and then the second one, fact or fiction. After a baby has after a woman has a baby, it's more slippery down there.
Depends. Actually, fiction for most people is actually less slippery.
What about while a baby?
While pregnant.
You said while a baby.
Fact. So all the hormones and everything that happen while a person is pregnant makes their vagina super wet all the time. Speaking from experience in both ways, but pregnant pussy is the best pussy ever.
Damn. you heard it from her.
You heard it from her.
All right, so let's go.
Again, so boom.
A round of applause for Reba.
Hey, Reba, appreciate it, yo.
You are our best guest so far. We didn't have a lot, but you are our best guest so far.
Thank you, Reba.
Yeah.
Non-stop, no pause.
All right, yo.
Just seeing it here for you. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, that was
fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
No, that was very informative. That's a lot of information.
Hell yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna watch this one back a couple times.
She has a lot of good information, man. She really studied up on her shit too.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, she was very informative too, man.
She know parts of the fucking dick. I don't know no parts of my dick. I just know my dick.
I'm glad she had those modules too.
Yeah. I just
if
know
she didn't have the modules, there would have been a problem.
I just know my dick.
Yeah, make sure you chop that up. Chop that up crispy.
Oh man.
I don't know where to go from here.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Hey man,
that was too much.
What you saying, Al? What's up, Al? What's up?
Man, I don't know. I feel like one of the main. I'm gonna try to switch this. I'm gonna try to get this back. I'm gonna try to land this plane. But one of the things she was talking about was diets.
Okay, I follow.
We were talking about diets and things we can incorporate into our diet. Not necessarily. But what are some things that we can talk? What are some healthy things that you try to consume, and some shit you shouldn't be eating, but it tastes so damn good, and we might need to give it up now after hearing about this from
Pussy.
Reba.
Man,
pussy.
You gonna give that up?
Did you hear the P? Did you hear the P? Or
Is that healthy or not?
No, all right. I'm fucking with that.
I mean, according to Reba,
I'm just saying. Lately, I stopped fucking with the carbs and shit. So, like, you know what I mean. I'm trying to get, a 4-pack out here. You know what I mean. Instead of the keg and shit out here. Yeah.
One ab.
I'm drinking whiskey instead. I'm drinking whiskey instead of Hennessy. I'm doing cauliflower rice instead of fried rice.
Yeah.
I'm doing I'm doing.
What about the exercise? What about the
sweet
exercise?
potatoes?
That's a different story.
Niggas ain't talking about no exercise. Is what they eat.
Talking about food.
We talking about diets, nigga. I'm talking about diets.
We talking about
Yeah,
food.
we talk about ingestion.
But my vice is, I will say my vice is cheesecake. That's my biggest vice.
Oh.
Like I'm like 5 minutes away from Cheesecake Factory. That's some bitch be calling.
Yeah.
That's some bitch. I know all them fucking flavors.
Yeah.
Salted caramel, cinnamon.
Hey, but I'm with you though, Rez. The cauliflower, yes, that's my shit.
That ain't good. That ain't good. But
I bang with cauliflower.
Shit, that shit good. Yeah, I bang
with cauliflower. Also Brussels sprouts for sure.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts. Yeah.
Especially when they roast it just right.
With that turkey bacon and a little bit of olive oil, drizzle up on it, the balsamic. Yeah.
But one of my downfalls though is gotta be that goddamn kitchen sink cookie from Panera Bread. Yo. Damn.
I never had that.
You never had a kitchen sink cookie?
I fucking the Dream Bars at Pie Valley.
A kitchen sink cookie is basically got everything in it. It's a cross between a chocolate chip cookie, an oatmeal cookie. It got pretzel, caramel, chocolate.
Oh, it's too late. I was about to get on DoorDash.
Hey, listen, holla at me when you got a motherfucking kitchen sink cookie, yo. That should be a downfall for sure. All them goddamn calories. God.
Yeah, I'm not worried about calories. I'm worried about carbs.
I basically eat like a banana for breakfast. Then for lunch, I eat like I go to actually be completely honest. I eat Chipotle for lunch probably every single day.
Damn.
And I probably I get the salad. I get this. That's the only reason why, because it's like getting greens and protein. So that's the reason why I do it. So I get like the salad, and I get I switch it up. I switch up the protein, and then then dinner, so whatever the wife got, I don't really whatever she cooked, and then I try to get a smoothie. If I do work out, like because I go for runs, if I do work out, I try to have like a smoothie, like a little fruit smoothie after that. But my downfall is the munchies off the late night. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'll be fucking up. I'll be good all day, and then all of a sudden at night I'll be like, damn man, I need a little, like, you know what I'm saying? That's where I'll be fucking up.
I'm a growler.
I can dig it, trust me.
Shit.
Yeah, I try to do a gallon of water a day. I just got back to that maybe like 2 months ago, and that helps flush you out. You know what I'm saying? Like I need that, especially with the workouts, the exercises. If you lift weights, like Phil be running 6 miles and shit, so you definitely need that water intake. Other than that, do my daily vitamins. We talked about that. I do my daily vitamins. Make sure you get gummies. Make sure you get your vitamin C, your vitamin B, your biotin. Make sure your nails and your hair is healthy. All of that shit. And I started working with like grilled asparagus and
fancy
mixing like the Brussels sprouts with the peppers and all of that stuff. Like I've been doing that. But one of the biggest things I've been doing for protein is fish. So going to Whole Foods and Wegmans and actually trying different types of fish that I haven't had before, like mahi and swordfish, like some of the stuff that's like really strong in protein but not fatty. And one thing you really gotta be aware of with the fish though is what is the
MSG? What?
Nah, it's high in
mercury.
Mercury. Sorry. So so some fish is high in mercury, and that's actually bad for your blood. But other than that, I mean, I've been hitting like the healthy trip, trying to lose some weight too. Protein shake after a workout. But my Achilles heel would have to be like just fatty seafoods, man. Like we talked about it earlier, like crab legs, fucking seafood boil with the sausages. And
come on over here, dog. I got some leftovers, dog. Come on over here.
Like that shit. Once you start it, and I think there's an addictive factor to that shit too, because once you start eating it, it's like it's like you crave seafood. You know what I mean? It's like you can't have it Wednesday and not want it Friday and Saturday. So
because it ain't going nowhere but in a vat of butter, dog. And I'm gonna stop it up.
Oh man, he's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
None of y'all be fucking with candy, just like candy in general.
Nah,
I don't even really try to
since
do
I was a kid, man.
P got
Chocolate.
sweet tooth like shit.
Yeah, oh hell yeah,
all day. Yeah, you already know that. Chocolate. Cakes. I just ate a pack of cookie dough, a 12-pack.
Oh my god.
Not all 12. Not all 12. It was like
you got the movie size straight.
It was like 12 or 2 days.
Hey, listen. You know the King's sweet Hawaiian rolls?
Oh yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I will clear a whole row of them bitches.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo.
Especially that middle one, because once you get to the middle one, you got to take that middle one. Doesn't matter if you come from the left or right, you got to take that middle one. You got the first one.
Niggas even put anything on them joints, dog?
You don't even have to.
You don't need
That's
to
what I'm
do
saying.
nothing.
That's ridiculous.
If you put some shredded barbecue and like some red onions.
Well,
Yeah,
you can make a little sandwiches, put a little bit of turkey in there, like some cheese and shit. Man.
Yep. I've been making just breakfast sandwiches with them jumps.
Mm-hmm. Y'all know that them buns is made to be put in the oven.
Yeah.
I never put it in the oven until like a year ago.
You make some shredded chicken, right? And then you put like a little bit of bourbon, barbecue sauce, some spices in that joint, and then you top it off at the bottom of the you put it at the bottom of the pan of the Hawaiian rolls, and you top it with chicken, some cheese, some onions, and then put the top on that joint, and then put some parsley and some butter on top of that shit, and bake it for like 15 minutes. Boy.
All right. So one of these shows,
One of these shows.
When we start doing jumps in person, I'm gonna cater all them jumps.
All right.
Shit. Yeah. Anybody else got any fucking trifling habits? If we jump off, baconators.
Bacon, good job.
You might need to start.
Damn, boy.
Me personally,
you might be a little salty.
That's my whole thing. I don't even like baconators. The baconators is only when like my wife don't cook, and that's sometimes on when we doing the show Wednesday nights or whatever. Sometimes, whatever. But shit, she made these big ass fucking crab legs and these damn lobster tails and shit tonight.
Just look delicious.
So I had to eat that shit. But it's like I eat any motherfucking thing out this joint. I feel like. Careful. But the healthy thing I'm doing, I'm drinking water, dog. You got to drink a lot of water out here, baby. You got to drink a lot of water. That's all I got for you. I'm drinking a lot of water. That's it.
You better get you a plant-based burger from McDowell's.
Right. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like Simo be eating like a prince, and everybody seen the movie that came out last week, Coming to America. What's y'all review on that jump?
Man, I love all the cameos.
First of all, I need to. Can we go around the room and what do you rate it out of 10?
Yeah. Let's get it
out of 10.
Out of 10. We're doing this every week.
All right, quick rate out of 10, right?
Yeah, just a solid number, not a 0.5. A solid number.
Yep.
P out of 10.
7.
7. Damn. Okay. Al out of 10.
7.
Damn. Shaq out of 10.
6.
Okay. Simo out of 10.
5.
5. Okay.
Damn.
Lighthouse out of 10.
6.
6. Keys out of 10.
5.
5. Okay, and I'm going with 5. And I'll add that up. But y'all can reflect on jump, and then we're gonna add it to our IMBD. Y'all can check out our IMBD watch list, and you can see our ratings and shit like that. Yeah, nice. Go ahead. I'm gonna add that shit up.
I did check that out on the link.
Nice.
Yeah. The first thing I say is that I think anybody that came into this movie expecting it to be better than the first one, like you can't top that. Like so,
yeah, you did yourself a disservice.
You would be crazy to be disappointed, But I gave it a 6. I thought overall, I thought it was good. You know what I'm saying? Like it had its funny parts, like you were saying, Phil. All the cameos, Michael Blackson, what's her name? The one that played the boy's
Leslie
mom.
Jones.
What's her name? Yeah, Leslie Jones and yeah, even Rick Ross had a little cameo and shit.
Yeah,
But I thought it was Wesley Snipes did his thing. I thought it was good. The thing that I probably didn't like, I can't even say I didn't like, but it was like I feel like this one was more like, you know, I felt like the first Coming to America was like kind of like a there was almost like no intention. It was like they was just kind of like, hey, let's just make this great movie. But I felt like this shit had a lot of like messaging and you know,
shit that was forced,
shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But the first one was just about pure storytelling, plot. You know, but this one just had a lot of like just, you know, societal messages and shit like that. Like that's the only thing it didn't feel as genuine. It didn't feel as like home grown, I guess you would say. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as pure. It didn't feel as pure as the first one did. But you know, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much my outlook on it, you know. But it was
all right.
overall fun.
So our rating ended up at 5.85, so that rounds to a 6, and I think that's kind of generous. I thought it was a 5 for real.
Yeah,
because it almost felt like like you know like SNLs or like Oscars or Grammys, you know, they do like little, or like MTV Movie Awards, they do like a tribute to a movie. You know what I mean? It felt like that. It didn't feel like a movie for real. It felt like a tribute to a movie.
It felt a little spoofy. It was a little spoofy.
Even with the
right. Even though I appreciate like how many like characters they brought back and how true to the characters they did bring back. It didn't really make sense how the old niggas in the barbershop was like the same age.
That's why I said it was spoofy. That's why I said it was a little spoofy.
That's what I'm saying.
Even if you did have a child out of wedlock, you getting that DNA test. He didn't even talk about that shit. I ain't like that. Right. He didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I know that was part of the movie. Yeah, I thought it was
I did too. I was waiting for that. They didn't even touch on that.
We thought they were gonna find out. Oh, he's not really the prince or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. I was like, nah, he ain't do that.
Ceremonial herbs. Yeah,
he ain't look shit like him either.
At all. But I will say, like the costumes was they did their shit on that jump. Like the costumes was lit.
The color, it was very colorful.
And that first robe he had on, that white joint, that shit was nasty. I was like, yo,
the visuals was
just like the lessons they were instilling too. Like, even when he went back to his own roots, was mopping the floor that one part.
Right. Yeah, I like mopping and shit.
I like the little flashbacks.
It cleared my head and shit.
Yeah, therapy type shit. And then even when he was learning like the new stuff from the young prince, like when he was showing them the pin walk. Oh yeah, did you catch that Be Like Water part? Yeah. I don't know if you caught that. When you pin walk, Be Like Water, Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
We be at that. Oh my god. But yeah, I thought that's what I appreciated about it, and it was just all black. I think that's what I didn't want to get away from.
Except for my man Anderson.
Tiana Taylor is bar none.
It was some fine ass black woman in this movie.
Yeah,
just like the first one, because I watched the first one today too.
It was.
So like,
it was.
There was some fine ass black women in it.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys know that Louis Anderson was still alive though?
I didn't know that.
Man, he looks so old in that movie. Though.
But speaking of being alive, I do like the idea of James, his father, King James. Yeah, I do like the fact that you can have your funeral while you're alive and people can celebrate. You give you the flowers while you're alive. I love that idea.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that.
Was dope.
I like that too.
I just didn't like how he died in the casket.
I felt like it was over the top.
I like that shit.
That was kind of some gangster shit. Like you basically throwing the party for yourself, and then you knowing that you about to
Gladys,
die.
Come on, man.
That's
and all that shit.
In Vogue too, and Salt Pepper.
Yeah, and the Beatbox Queen, and the Beatbox Queens.
Yeah. One thing.
I felt like they was like hyped up though. I think I know I personally was disappointed. I felt like it was hyped up too much, or maybe if they would have made this maybe 10 years ago or something, you know what I'm saying? I felt like it was fucking hyped up for 2021 or whatever. I was expecting more laughs and shit, and then I had to go back and think about the first movie, and I was like, the first movie was a comedy, but it wasn't really a comedy. It was really supposed to
Just
be
a
a
real
drama.
authentic.
It was an
It was
illustration.
a
It
rom
had
com.
comedy and but it had
was.
comedy little spots or whatever. And I think honestly, I think the best spots were like as far as comedic value anyway was definitely going back to the barbershop. I know it was weird for them motherfuckers to still be alive and shit.
It was still some of the funniest parts though.
Yeah, those were the best parts.
It's like in a left. So I would say it's I think giving it a 5 or a 6 is, it's not a fucking Scorsese or no shit like that.
Right.
Or,
And it was PG-13. The original jump was rated R. They had
Yeah.
titties and shit. Like I couldn't wait to see that jump.
I was waiting for it when he was about to get a bath though. When he was getting the bath, I was like, "Oh man, he got a 3-piece right here too."
3-piece.
But this the thing though.
I forgot to ask people that.
But what Corey just said, if this would have came out like 10 years ago, I think it would have been a better movie too. Because like I think because now we so deep into the like social media age, I feel like they got to kind of keep up with what's current and what's trending. Where I feel like if it came out maybe 10 years ago, it probably would have been more of a drawn out story. You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like just laughs here, laughs there, shit like that. What did y'all overall think about the son? What did y'all think about how he played his role and all that?
He was like he overacted.
He did all right.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
from Hyattsville. He went to Northwestern.
Yeah,
For real?
He's from
Yeah,
Hyattsville.
for real? I know that from DMV.
Oh shit!
And I felt a lot of DMV in it. I felt like some PG County in that shit. Like I felt that in his acting.
Damn, I ain't know.
I thought he was
still overacting. Still overacting.
He did. He overacted. So my thing is, I think it was rushed, man. I think you know how like y'all said they built the relationship with Eddie Murphy and Shorty that was McDowell's daughter or whatever. But you kind of felt that relationship. You know what I'm saying? You felt that she was with the
flirt machine,
the S curl joint. And you know what I'm saying? He was trying like get in, but they showed that and dug deep into that relationship like for a good 35-45 minutes. I feel like this shit was like super rushed because all you saw was Tiana Taylor and he was feeling her, and then the maid said like one or two things and he was like, "Oh, I want her now." Like it was like just real.
Because she knew a couple movies.
Yeah, it was like real quick and rushed, man. And I that's the part I ain't feel. I felt like it was like a real legit like comedy ass shit. Like you couldn't connect. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't connect to it.
Is anybody disappointed they didn't bring back my man Daryl?
So glow. Yeah, I was because I was watching.
I was waiting for him to have a cameo though.
Yeah, I want to know what happened to him and the other sister.
I don't see where
he got married. Yeah. Oh yeah, true. They could have put that in there.
Right.
But Lisa Chocolate even had a cameo.
Yeah, right. But then Lisa looked good for her age. Goddamn, black.
Yes.
She did. Lisa was,
especially
in that bedroom scene, which we'll talk about later.
Do y'all think they should have been in more in America a little bit more in this joint rather than because it's called Coming to America, but they would like they was in America for like a few minutes, and then they had it right back. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, realistically, they shot that shit at Rob's house though.
But go ahead.
Did?
Yeah, I know. I guess that makes sense. That's probably the main reason why.
Yeah,
you can't put that in the U.S. Yeah, that's Rick Ross' house.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the whole thing.
You can even tell, like,
what? I ain't know that shit.
You didn't know Rick Ross' house?
Like even that funeral scene in the living room, they use that living room like 3 different times in the movie.
Damn, but they only gave him that little ass part.
Like that.
He's not producer. He's not executive producer or nothing like that.
Nah, they paid him to use that though. They paid him to use it.
They gave him that one
credits. That's probably how he got them lines.
Yeah, they paid him a grip too. They paid him a grip.
He all over that shit. They don't pay for his house.
Kenya Burse was wasn't he a writer in that jump?
One of the EP, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah.
I think one of the things that I mean, like, of course, this jump was 33 years apart from the Coming to America 1. But I also think this jump was literally it was able to bridge some of those gaps in between. Like, I mean, like growing up, we was babies watching first Coming to America, and then we grew into that jump. But now, like, they were able to captivate the audience that watched the Coming to America 1, but then also bringing some new talent and some new comedians, as well as some new faces for this one as well. I mean, and then even with the parodies and stuff like that. I think, of course, we know some of them jumps was super extreme. Like every time Wesley Snipes walked into that damn,
Yeah, why do you have to dance like that? I didn't like that. That's
the next Dorians.
And then
next Dorians.
Even with the Rotimi, bro, like that joke threw me all the way the fuck off because I was like, they had this man going from Dre on Power being the Stone Cold Killer on that joke to coming in this joke and just being whatever. But I think it's dope. I think it did have some comedic factors, but at the same time, I think when you try to compare this one to compare this one and one, of course you have no chance in hell to try to compare these two.
That's the thing. At the end of the day, it just didn't have that movie magic, and I feel like all the movies back in like the late 80s, 90s, they had that movie magic. It just had that authenticity.
Yeah.
It didn't have that movie magic.
Yeah.
Do you feel like
this
you
joint
would
felt
watch
very
it again?
mean? You know what I'm saying? It felt like keeping up with the times, where the other joint
It
was just
was
telling
like
the
it was a tribute, and they also feel like they was pushing a message like when he was like, "Oh, let's go to America, let's start a new life." It felt like they were saying like, you know what I'm saying? It felt like they were saying like,
Yeah, come over
I
here.
mean, yeah,
I know what you mean.
of course, America is you know the land of the free and all that shit, quote unquote. But them niggas was living above like everything.
Yeah,
but it was more so like they was bringing
and Zamunda.
Like coming to America, but it also could have been like America coming to Africa because a lot of the ways that they was thinking, they was like bringing there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it was just like going against everything that they was kind of, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's why there was like conflict and shit.
America, you got a whole fucking palace and shit, dog. Why?
But Simo, you like you said, one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie was when he was mopping because it broke him back down to when he when he had to learn how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have to work at that point in time.
I mopped today
in the first one, but like he had to learn how to work in something that he never had to do. So that was like that was like him being humbled. Kind of, sort of. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the Prince of Zamunda is there mopping in McDowell's. You know what I'm saying? The irony in that is in itself is just crazy.
king.
And I like that last part that was it John Amos or whatever his name is? He was like, "What would your mama think?" or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
True. Right. Yeah.
I like that part.
But real quick, he was mopping for an hour. He was mopping for an hour in McDowell's, and he literally only mopped up that corner spot. Like he didn't mop the whole floor.
He was thinking out.
That's what he likes doing.
Okay, moving along. We spent a little bit of time on Coming to America. I mean, it had a big, influence on our childhood and all that shit. Yeah. Okay, let's touch on. I don't know. Let's make a jump. Infinity War, big monumental movie, blockbuster film, probably one of the best blockbuster films. In the movie, Thanos had these Infinity Stones. We want to let y'all know like who's in this cast right now, who y'all looking at in the Flight Room podcast. If you had to dish out these Infinity Stones, who would you give them to in this cast? Y'all need help?
Hey, Simo.
I ain't my homework. Don't even look at me, dog.
Simo. guess what stone you getting, Simo?
What I get?
You getting the Power Stone, bro.
Dumb stone.
I'm giving you the Power Stone just simply because of your attitude and how you like you kind of, say everything that you say is very blunt. It's you. It's no cut cards. It is what it is, and it's straight to the point. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Shaq, I'll probably give you the Space Stone. Just specifically because I felt like even in the movie, the Space Stone was more like the technology of the stones. And like we still don't really know what it is that you do at your job. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like you probably fucking with shit like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? He might be fucking with some shit like that. He got a Tesseract in his basement right now.
Easy.
Yeah. Don't say that.
Listening.
I know, right?
Yeah. P, definitely the Time Stone for sure.
Because he old as fuck.
Not only, now I just feel like he already has the mindset that he ain't of this earth of this dimension anyway. Like he is always on this search of like how he's connected amongst the stars and the universe, and I just already that the time stone specifically fits P well. Reds, I would give you the Mind Stone.
Appreciate you.
Just because you kind of have a like a way with like your words are like very persuasive, if that makes any sense. The way that you kind of say things is kind of, you know what I'm saying? And Lighthouse, definitely the Reality Stone. Reality Stone all day for Lighthouse, just for the simple fact that he's able to see things for what it is, the way that it fucking is, regardless of whatever else is happening within that reality. Lighthouse always, for whatever reason, seems to be able to see it at its rawest form. And then Al for definitely the Soul Stone, just because of you're the balance. You're the even like in the movie when he had to kill his, you know what I'm saying, he had to kill, what's her name, Gamora?
Her daughter, his daughter.
He had to kill his own daughter, and there is no victory. There's no victory without sacrifice. That's that balance. That was 6, right?
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go. Space Stone is definitely P. This nigga be out there. He don't like he's not tied to any land per se. You know what I'm saying? He just be out there. Space Stone. Mind Stone. That's going to be Shaq. Shaq, he's a scholar. I mean, yeah. Reality Stone. That's Al. Al always keep us grounded. We be going too far with the conspiracy sometimes, I feel like, but not too far. But Al keep us grounded. Power Stone is Simo. Simo, the nigga is the bluntness, the brute, he be out there. Time Stone. It's definitely not Al because he be late all the time. So it's B, because B got a good conception of time. Like he understands time, how he break down time and paradoxes and shit like that. And then Soulstone is my man Lighthouse. The nigga is like a for real motivational speaker. A motivational speaker. Speaking of flavor. Yeah, speaking of flavor. Yeah, there you go. Y'all gotta run through these jumps though.
Go ahead, P.
Dead air. I wish I had a pause moment. That was dead air.
No, it's all right, man. You can edit it. I can't.
It's live. I'm some edit some shit. This is live.
After. Either way, the Mind Stone. I'm definitely gonna get at the Paul. Definitely a deep thinker. Power Stone, Corey. You know you got that all day. Bluntness, but I was gonna say you too, Rez. You pretty blunt too. Like especially when you begin.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck
like that. Yeah. So that was like a toss up right there. Soulstone, I would get at it was between Soul and Reality Stone for Marcus, just because Marcus be touching on reality based shit, but he also likes to connect to the, you know what I mean, the soul and the reality of shit. So
motivation.
Yeah, definitely that.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah, I need that last stone. I need that last stone for Al.
It ain't time. I'll tell you that.
No, I'll give Al the Space Stone. I'll give Al the Space Stone. I'll give Al the Space Stone. And I think that wraps it up for all my
nigga be late.
Perfect timing, not late.
I always say, I'm putting on my shoes.
I'm putting on my shoes. I'm putting on my shoes.
What did you say for me?
Let me iron my shirt.
You be saying you what did you say? You on Georgia?
I'm on Pennsylvania Avenue.
No, he said
I'm on Constitution.
Yeah, I'm on Constitution. Every time we used to go to the city, this nigga B say on Constitution. No matter where we going, where we going, he on Constitution.
Hey, look, I'm on that motherfucker.
You was not on that Constitution. You was
That's how you know how to get there.
That nigga was on 66.
Yeah,
that nigga was on 66.
I'll go next.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna go Power Stone. Power Stone. I'm gonna go with Corey because the same reason everybody else already said. Reality Stone. I'm gonna go with Alex because I know like Alex, like you saying earlier, he keeps us grounded. Like we kind of like be in space sometimes, and he'd be like, yeah, hey guys, like back here, like time, Paul, time. I say Paul because I feel like Paul don't be wasting time. Like he always on to the next shit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely put Paul for that. So I said Brian because I think Brian like he wears his emotions on his sleeves. Like he laughs with his body. Like everything is like very like expressive. You know what I'm saying? Space. I say Phil for the same thing. I think we didn't even have that like rap group he was in back in the day. The space joint. I remember Space Camp.
Damn,
You know what I'm saying? He always on some futuristic type shit. Like that's like his MO. So and then in mind I said Randall because Randall always thinking, always questioning shit. So that's why I gave him that one. So yeah.
Appreciate
That's good. That's a good.
No, that is good. I just peeped I just peeped Lighthouse and Paul Shad got the fucking Nike jumpsuit jackets on. Like, what's up?
Right.
Damn.
I
Damn.
wrote that shit too.
Damn.
Damn.
I did not get the memo.
Yeah, knows that shit at all.
Both of them fresh.
Who got Al? Here you Al.
All right, man. So look, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I ain't watched Thanos. I ain't watched that shit. So
Ooh, that's the best one.
So I'm just going off of what I think these jumps mean, and I'll try. If I don't want to try to break it down, but so for Reality Stone, I got Rez. That nigga always he be saying some wild shit, but at the same time, he can know what is real. And he'll always understand both sides of the shit. For the Space Stone, I got B because that nigga B be wild the fuck. Like why his mind be like child, like his mind be gone sometimes, but at the same time, like he always like is able to channel that energy and channel that into actually thinking outside of the box, and that's what I mean in terms of like being out there. For the Soul Stone, I got Paul. You know what I'm saying? Always grounded, always knowing what's going on with him and everything like that. For the time, I got P because that nigga's a time traveler, like literally just a time traveler. Like you can almost picture P in any decade and he'll find his way. Powers Simo, we already know that. I don't even think this nigga's not even on camera right now. He's probably jackhammering a fucking wall if he needs to. And then Mind Stone, I got Lighthouse, always thinking outside of the box as well, but always making sure, you know what I'm saying, reading and expanding the knowledge.
That's a good
That's
one.
it.
Yes, sir.
I got P for space. I think P got 3 for space.
I think so too.
I do think Phil is like he thinks outside of the universe. Like there's a lot of stuff that he says, even within himself, where he thinks outside of the box. Mind and so I was gonna say this too. Like Phil travels a lot too, man. Everybody knows he might be in Atlanta one day and then Colorado the next day. Canada, fucking DC.
Remember, I fucking came to Corey's bachelor party same day.
Hell yeah, I remember that shit. So
showed up right when we were about to go to the club.
Yeah, I feel like P is like he like I wouldn't take anything from like the whole space travel and him being like 3 places at once type shit.
Right.
I got Al for Mind, just because he like everybody said level grounded, but I think that Al also thinks further down like 2, 3, 4 steps. Like sometimes I can see him
facts, dates, all that.
Right. I feel he even if you talk to him about sports, man, he'll tell you like the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Contracts.
Yeah,
and I don't know if y'all.
Alex and Marcus for sports, man. Swear to God.
Hell yeah.
Like, that should be crazy.
And I
how
also
did they
say
pull that?
Right,
Kuiper and the
like
other dude.
facts, like straight facts. Like if you Google it, it'll be the same shit you see when you look at the verbiage.
It used to be like that back in college too. Like back when we was young, it was like that. It was like the same shit.
That shit is scary.
Yep. And
you just say a name, it'll tell you everything. Fucking Kuiper, man.
And I was gonna say this too, like, but I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I'll be the one that be like really like organized and shit. Like when we be out and stuff, and we got any issues, you see him being the one to like talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like really like mind gaming motherfuckers. Like, look, this is what we about to do, and you gonna accept it. Like,
for real.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I understand that
like,
they broke your shit.
Hey, remember
okay.
we was in Mexico for the wedding, and we had that fucking hurricane, and then they finessed the
whole finesse.
Oh yeah, the car situation.
The car ride up the fucking mountain.
I understand that. I understand that you're putting your life at risk.
Up the mountain.
Yeah.
Me and my niggas need to get safe.
The bar owner called his brother and picked us up.
It was crazy.
Hey, that shit was bad too. It was like 3 feet of
I was a little scared for a second. Scared.
It was bad. It was bad. I got Corey for power, just like everybody else. Like he wears his heart on his sleeve. He really straightforward to the point. You know what I'm saying? I got Marcus. No, I got B on time. And I feel like B is situated in,
Constitution.
No, but if y'all understand, like I feel like B is like methodical. You know what I'm saying? Like he's methodical with his shit. He's methodical with his work. I don't know his how he gets on time every day, but he probably get on time every day.
Great time management, Brian. For
you do, bro. Because I swear,
his wife, you a coach and shit.
He lived the furthest, and he always be on time at our events. Like from what I see.
You be
having to get out the house,
I got Marcus for soul, just because I feel like he's in touch with inner being and what he needs to accomplish, like, for his life. And then I got Reds for reality. I got Reds for reality. I feel like Reds is aware of, himself and what he has to do for his family, for his mental, you know what I'm saying? Like it's more than just surviving. It's like, making sure you appreciate what you're doing on a daily basis. And we literally, I don't know about you, Reds, but I think I talk about Soul, the movie, almost every fucking day now. So
yeah, that's my shit.
That shit's big.
Y'all gotta watch that Riot Joint too on Disney. That joint heavy.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch that shit. That's it.
Yeah. Everybody went right.
Hey, nice Azugas.
Yeah. All right, so I have no idea how we're gonna jump into this, but I do want to cover this before we end. Mike Brown Sr. has requested. Some people say requested. It's funny, like how you go to different news outlets, and some people use the word requested, and some people use the word demanded. It's $20 million from Black Lives Matter. How do y'all feel about that?
That's the part I don't understand. Why is he even like coming at Black Lives Matter too? Like, did they use like his
likeness or something?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, like because that's the only way he could really sue anybody.
Yeah.
Well, first things first, I don't want to make it seem as though I know what his intentions are with the bread. I don't know. We don't know what he may or may not do with whether it's putting it back into the. I don't know. But at the same time,
B.
I know.
What are the intentions with Black Lives Matter?
But that's what I'm getting to. I needed to lead off with that. I needed to lead off with the fact that I don't know what his intentions are. But at the same time, from the outside looking in, it makes it seem as though, okay, first of all, Mike Brown wasn't the only one that died at the hands of police brutality and as an African American. So are every other parent or parents entitled to that 20 million that you so-called are trying to recoup? You know what I'm saying? But also even before you even get to that,
I know what you about to say.
I mean, like it's just I don't know.
But he's saying they're gonna use the money for foundation, community center activism. Like I'm saying,
but that's what I'm saying. I don't know the intentions.
But it looks like he has a plan for the money, and it looks like I don't know. Like
I mean, that can help get
I'm not too tapped into what Black Matters do on a day to day. So like I don't, I can't tell you that, but it looks like Mike Brown Sr. has a plan what he wants to do with
20 million.
But thing is, like BLM is like
who runs it? It's not like there's no commissioner for that. There's nobody.
I'm saying, but that's like the go-to when they donate money. So of course, like if you obtaining money on Black lives themselves,
right? But okay, so what precedent does that set moving forward? So you're saying that the next time, so let's say within the next.
But what if you're just holding people accountable? Like
I think it is holding people accountable because I think that's why this whole thing came up because I didn't hear nothing about this about Mike Brown asking for money, but then earlier I heard about people trying to sue or trying to get money from Black Lives Matter just off the strength of they raised money but haven't put shit towards.
Hey, look, man. We in the summer, bro. We had a podcast and we detail how like 90% of the money that was funneled into Black Lives Matter was put into Act Blue, which is an organization for the Democratic Party that was putting Joe Biden in office. So
them niggas can't be mad at him asking for 20 million.
And that's how I felt too, because like all this shit is open ended anyway. Who's running the Black Lives Matter movement?
That's the only reason why they hot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sad to say, off of somebody's life. But
the only thing I don't like seeing is just the black on black again. Like now it's just corporate. You know
how you pinning people against people?
Yeah. That's the only thing I think is kind of like. But like look right now.
Yeah, I don't have too much information on their relationships. So
I just think it's unfortunate. Period.
Yeah, point blank.
But yeah, because after this, it's gonna start being other families or like I don't know, people coming for that Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah. As they should, because like people, you want to know where your money's going to.
Exactly. Oh no, I feel you on that, especially with the donations and stuff. I definitely feel you. And if they're not seeing any work being done to these communities, these organizations that they promised, I feel you on that. And who knows? He could have been promised something or like told he was going to have some type of incentive. I don't know. But
has there been a response from them? Because I know like a lot of like celebrity foundations. They attribute a lot of the money to overhead costs. You know what I'm saying?
All right. That's why that's exactly why I kept saying that whole commissioner who heads that shit, because nobody has come out to defend or apologize for anything.
Have the organization responded?
I don't know if they responded. I don't know directly about all that, but I do know. As a matter of fact, last night I didn't get a chance to watch it, but last night they had something on ABC News where it was a founder and the co-founders on ABC News for it was I think it's called Soul of the Nation. I forgot who was like the host or what have you, but they had Alicia Garza on there. I probably need to watch that and figure out exactly what they were talking about, but she was on there.
He said we are coming where we deserve.
Yeah, that's fishy, man. I feel like they should like be an open book. You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah,
Black Lives Matter movement, I want to see like paper and documents on what you spending it on. Like,
but if it's a nonprofit, it should have an open
Act
book.
Blue.
That's what I'm saying.
Act
That's
Blue.
what I'm saying.
Y'all need to Google that. Act
especially if
Blue
it's
and how
for
much
the-
they receive.
if it's for a supposed good cause. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you also got to look at it like, you know, for Michael, the Michael Brown killing was like one of the major killings when they started, you know, gaining a lot of momentum. Then you see all the money that's being developed, or the money that's coming out of that. You see the Black Lives Matter logo on the NBA games. You see the Black Lives Matter logo in DC, that you know, that big yellow joint. So you go from seeing your son get killed, people say I got your back, and then you watching that organization just blossom into like, you know, just this, you know, that's making millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and you still broke. You know what I'm saying? It was like, damn, but if my son didn't die, well then I guess it would have just been somebody else's son that would have been the catalyst if it wasn't his, you know. But I don't know. And I think that's also the thing that separates like Michael Brown and maybe some of these other people from like the average everyday black guy that might get killed by the police that doesn't make the news. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the reason why it's more of a conversation, because Michael Brown was like a major story. You know what I'm saying? So that I can understand why he would say that. I could completely see why he would feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a tough situation because like for the most part, it looked like Mike Brown Sr. was out there. He was in the trenches and shit. So
yeah, and they ain't gonna stop, man. Like I said, they are gonna start coming out the woodwork because it says him and activists, so he must be having to pay somebody.
Yeah, so they getting sharp to this shit, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, they getting hip.
But also
what did they
got
90 million? They got 90
in
million
back.
over there?
Huh?
First of all, they raised way more than 90 million. So.
Yeah, because man, Black Lives Matter was just on the All-Star weekend. That shit.
No.
Yeah.
So I think All-Star weekend was HBCUs.
Yeah, I'm talking about like you know how they have like the Black Lives Matter awareness.
MTV Movie Awards.
Yeah, you can see that shit during soccer games now everywhere. Like it's still, the campaign is still alive. They're just not pushing that shit as hard. But you know, it's still lingering.
Oh, so what you're saying is the proceeds from what you're saying is like the proceeds from like the quote unquote, I mean the saying or the shirts and everything like that. Those proceeds should be going towards Black Lives Matter and what should be coming in towards their bottom line. Because as we know, the Black Lives Matter shirts. I'm sorry, not as we know. I think the Black Lives Matter shirts sometimes are just produced. Like those jokes could just be produced.
Yeah,
and it's not
that's
necessarily produced. That is
mask and all that. I see that shit all the time. The mask, I can't breathe shit.
Yeah. They done made some money though.
Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation have Africa's finest wear this clothes for the first time. Oh yeah, they do got Nike. They got 2K shit.
What happened?
2K, yeah.
They got Black Lives Matter like 2K shirts, Black Lives Matter Nike shirts. Yeah,
they have the Black Lives Matter Bape shirts,
like on the site.
Yeah.
So,
damn, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
so 20 mil for the family ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
As B said, that's setting a wild precedent though. Yeah,
I don't
right. Like moving forward, like what does that do for the? Okay, so like I said,
everybody.
Let's say God forbid something happens. I don't wish that. But I'm saying in the event that moving forward, if another African American, any African American dies at the hands of a white police officer, like does that automatically mean that person, because most likely Black Lives Matter will start to rise back up again and money will be made off of it again? Like, is that person or parent or family entitled to $20 million?
I understand the perspective. It's like, but that's the question. What is happening with the money that's going over there?
Hey, real quick, does some of the money go towards legal fees?
Yeah, that was going to
get better.
Is it paying for their legal fees for these people that's going to court, fighting the police officers, the precincts, the cities, the counties, all that
bailouts?
Is that money going towards that or not?
Look at all the appearances he's been at. Mike Brown Sr. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
like he's been putting the groundwork.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to just be a hashtag, a shirt, a label, a hoodie, like, come on.
Yeah.
So you saying that he feels as though that the Browns are entitled to $20 million?
I'm not even saying like him personally. I'm just talking about Black Lives Matter as an organization and what they have raised for outside.
So you talking about the donate? Okay, got you.
Outside entities and shit like that.
Got you. Okay.
For popular, that's probably not a good word to say, but for popular Black injustices, anyway.
But they're saying demand. Demands is a strong word.
That is also a strong word.
Yeah,
yes.
you can't believe that shit either, though.
That makes it sound like they tried before.
Exactly.
Man.
It's like they could have gave him a meal, but I don't know.
A meal ain't slap in the face.
A meal ain't 20 mil though.
Yeah, a meal ain't slap in the face.
But think about how much they raised.
So, but that's the question though. If Black Lives Matter would have gave them a meal, would they be asking for 20 mil or demanding 20 mil? You know what I'm saying?
No, they would have already got the check.
They would have got a check. They said, pay for your lawyer fees. That'd have been off some NAACP type. You know, I don't even know.
Honestly, he need to be asking for more than 20 million.
But at the end of the day, they raised all this money off what?
Off of that. Off of their death. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, come up off that.
So yeah, that's how I feel about it too. That's how I feel about it that too. If you did not offer nothing at first, and you know now we're months, years down the road or whatever, and you done capitalized, you done made T-shirts and all this other shit. You really just operating like a corporation right now.
That ain't cool, man.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a couple duckets up off you.
We're gonna tax you.
It's only fair, baby. It's only fair.
This is a great example to let you know how valuable a Black man is, because that's, you know what I'm saying. It's like, look how much money these niggas is making off niggas dying. You know what I'm saying?
And they putting numbers on it.
But not just them.
They're creating a brand
the music
off of that
industry.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like just think about that shit. The same thing. Like, come on, man. I actually crazy. I just heard of a new rapper today that I never heard of that got killed. I can't remember his name. I heard this shit on the radio today.
In Atlanta?
Nah, it's two of them. There's one in Houston too.
Yeah, this weekend, the shit that was on the highway.
He was an activist. This one was this. I think this one was today or something like that. He was an activist.
Yeah.
And he was a pro ball player too. He played overseas and everything like that too.
Oh shit! Okay, I was talking about dude. They had some rapper. It was in Atlanta. It was probably like on Friday night or something.
Something
Same
true.
Highway. Yeah. Some crazy shit, but happened on the highway again.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Phil.
That's wild to me, man. I'm telling you, I'm like, yo, it gotta be something with these record companies like sending these niggas up. There's no way. That shit is like so strange. All on the highway, like where you just.
It sound like some overtime talk, and yeah, let's bridge into that. It's the Fight Room Podcast, episode 46. We didn't had Reba the Diva.
Yeah,
we talking about some sexual education. Sexual education. It's the Fight Room Podcast. Y'all need to like. Y'all need to subscribe. Y'all need to fuck with our merch.
Yeah,
absolutely. Into the raffle.
Yeah, get the raffle coming.
Go into our social media shit, and you can see how you enter the raffle. Goddamn, Al.
I was waiting.
Right. Show you I can enter the raffle. Yeah, like, subscribe.
I think it's Swanton bomb that.
hit that QR code. We see out for overtime. We talk about unconventional topics, alternate thought, alternate all that shit.
Yeah.
Hit him, Corey.